Hello and welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show delayed indefinitely. I'm one of your hosts, Jacob Griffin, and sitting across from me is the procrastinator, Brad Knight. Brad, how you doing?
You came up with that intro slogan, delayed indefinitely,
Yeah.
to tie into one of the news stories.
Mm.
But I didn't think you meant it literally. This is the second time, sorry, I don't want to jinx ourselves. We've had to record this episode because of just technical difficulties everywhere. Everywhere.
It started off as just something as simple as like your sound card. Well, that's not simple, but your sound card failed. And then now it's just like your internet went out for 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's all that happened. It dropped long enough to drop the Skype call and for me to realize what had happened. And then I called you back and like, okay, well now we got to start over again. There goes the last 6 minutes of progress.
Yeah. And it's just that also comes from earlier today. We tried to text each other to record the podcast and nobody got the text messages.
It's somebody out there is against us. I don't know who it is. I don't know what they want, but they're against us.
Yeah.
Ugh, damn it.
So, Brad, let's continue. Let's do the small talk one again. Because also, I remember something that I wanted to mention that I didn't. So, Brad, how have you been since we last recorded the show?
It sort of loses its, genuine feeling when we've had to do it 3 times.
Yeah.
I've been all right. I've been just sort of waiting for AGDQ to start, or SGDQ, sorry, because there's some games this year that I really want to check out.
Mm.
And I'm just waiting for the, dozens and dozens of videos to be uploaded to YouTube, so I have background noise for the rest of the year until AGDQ rolls around.
Exactly.
It's really. So what about you, Jacob? What have you been doing?
I had work yesterday. I was just gonna get through the next 2 days of work, and then I'm home free for like an entire week. So that's nice. That's something to look forward to. Never thought I'd say those words ever in my life. I have a couple more days of work left.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I became an ordained minister.
What?
All right, so do you know what an ordained minister is, right? Someone who can,
Yeah, I'm familiar.
yeah, someone who can marry somebody. So I've always heard for years, like from comedy shows or movies, or just from random like podcasts I listen to, that it's super easy to become an ordained minister. And I was like, I wonder how easy it really is. Like, there's got to be some sort of fee involved. There's got to be, something like that. No, you can literally just sign into the internet. Well, not sign into the internet. You can go to this website on the internet, type in your first name, your middle name, your last name, where you're from, like city and state, and then your email address. I did all that. I clicked the button, and now I'm an ordained minister.
I feel like there are a few steps you might have missed there. That
No,
seems.
that I thought the same thing. No, all I would really have to do is I can marry people and sign their marriage license. I can purchase a $30 package that gives me my plaque that says I can marry people, but I can just do it without the plaque too. So,
Well, I mean, I'd want the plaque.
I mean, yeah, I want the plaque, but still, like I'm saying, like I don't have to have the plaque.
I, that seems just wrong. I feel like there should be a few more steps to letting somebody marry another person. I mean, I get you're kind of the least important person in that room,
Yeah.
but still.
I mean, you're pretty important. Let's be serious.
I mean,
The day is
apparently
all
not.
about you.
If you can do it in 10 minutes over the internet, you're clearly not that important.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's cool. So now I can marry people, and if any fans out there want me to marry them at their wedding, email in the show.
You know
If
what?
it's
I feel like that's gonna make a great story one day.
what, like a fan asked me to marry them.
No, that in 10 years you marry some weird couple in Vegas and you have a story to tell your kids because you took an ordained minister class online one time.
I could just show them this podcast. They'll go to
Yeah.
this part. I'll be like, you guys should subscribe too after that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So other than becoming an ordained minister, I've only gone to work.
Other than gaining the right to put people in marriage, it's
Yeah.
no small feat.
I can do the whole thing. I can go through the whole ceremony, and then I can sign the marriage license, and it's a legal binding document.
That's. I am in utter disbelief.
I know.
I have nothing more to say. I've lost the will to speak.
Brad, literally 30 seconds on the internet.
For once, comedy shows didn't lie to me.
Exactly. I honestly, like, when you see it in like movies and stuff and TV shows when they do the joke about, oh, I become an ordained minister in 30 seconds. I was like, that's That's bullshit. There's no way it's that fast. It's
Yeah,
that fast.
you have to, you should have to take a class or something.
Yeah, I figured that there would be like a fee involved. Like I thought like maybe it's like a $10 fee to become an ordained minister. Nope, completely free. Other than having to spend $30 to get the plaque and like there's some other stuff that comes with it. There's like a badge or something. I don't know. But
A badge, yeah. Someone's yeah. Can I see your badge, please, sir? I don't think you're official enough to marry us.
yeah, it's some weird thing that you can get, but like other than that, you can just do it and then just marry people.
I like to believe there's a hierarchy of people who like ordained ministers, and you have to turn over your badge if if you marry enough people who like end up in divorce. You're clearly
You,
not set out to do this job.
you're going rogue. Hand in your badge and your gun.
Oh God.
But other than that, I did a whole lot of nothing. So you get something else that's super easy. Why don't we get into what we're playing? So Brad, what have you been playing this week?
So almost immediately after we finished recording the last show, the competitive mode of Overwatch went live on PC. So I decided to jump headfirst into that and blow through my placement matches. And I didn't do very well in my placement matches. I think I ended 5-5 or 4-6 or something like that. I didn't do very well. But it's not that big a deal really. From what I understand, there's not a lot of fluctuation. Like somebody went 10-0 and they ended up at like 62,
Right.
and I ended at 47. So for losing 6 matches, you don't lose that many points.
Great.
But yeah, there are a few problems with the whole system though. One of them being sudden death, the other one being the reward system that they have set in place. So I'll talk about the reward system first. So the way that works is I'm not entirely sure on this, so I could be incorrect. And if I am, please email us and let me know that I'm misremembering this or misspeaking. But my rank of 47, as it is right now, at the end of the season, I will be given 47 competitive points as a reward, which I can then use to spend on golden weapons for some of the characters. The weapons cost 300 apiece, so as you can tell, it's probably going to take a while for me to get any of them. I also get 1 competitive point for every win I get and every time I bump up a rank. But to me, that just seems really bad because, one, the golden weapons look kind of awful because they just throw a golden weapon on top of whatever skin you have for that character, so sometimes they clash horribly and they look terrible.
Oh God, that's like I feel like now that we're in 2016 and there's so many competitive first person shooters out there that we should learn that if we pick one skin, we want the other skin removed.
It's just like the point of a cosmetic as a reward, right, is to make you feel like a badass for having gotten it, right?
Right.
Like you join a match and you're the only guy in the room with that skin, so you should feel good about yourself. The way those skins make me feel is I feel like I'm a gaudy person walking down, like it feels like too much bling, You see that guy with like a lot of like golden rings and that stupid big chain, like a bad Mr. T movie. That's
Right.
what that makes me feel like. And that's not the way a cosmetic should make me feel like. And it doesn't look good. I don't know. There's a lot of issues with that cosmetic system. I expect it to change, honestly, because I'm not the only one with this opinion. If Reddit is anything to go by, a lot of people don't like this.
Right.
So I hope that's going to change. And if it does, I'm not going to be buying any cosmetic golden weapons because I want to see what they're going to change into. The only one I might buy is the golden hammer for Reinhardt because that one actually does look kind of cool.
Right.
But
The giant fucking hammer.
yeah,
Damn it, I swear.
Thanks, Jacob.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do with that. And even if they don't change the weapons, at least make it easier to get them because at the way it's going, I'm gonna need like 3 seasons to get a weapon, which is a very long time for a cosmetic thing.
Right.
Because the seasons last like regular seasons. They're like 3.5 months.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a long time. But other than that, the actual competitive mode, I like the game as in that mode because people actually play team comms, they communicate, almost everybody has a mic, and I've had some of the best experiences in that game in competitive mode just because for some reason people are a lot more loose in competitive, which is odd because you think it'd be the opposite. Like I was in a game with someone doing a Sean Connery impression and somebody who played nothing but Bastion and communicated entirely in beeps. So if you ever wanted Sean Connery talking to a beeping robot, I got that. And it really is as amazing as it sounds.
You got to go over there, you got to fight him, you shorty bastard. Beep.
It's basically what it was. And it was honestly... And we won the game, too, which is amazing, because all of us were just screwing around.
That's awesome.
It's great. The only thing that takes away from the whole experience is the sudden death mode, which they have said they're going to revamp. So I'm confident they're going to do something great with it. But the way sudden death works right now is that if a game ends and you and the other team have the same amount of points on a map or on at the end of the game, you play one more round on the last map that you played. And it flips a coin for whether or not you're going to be attack or defense on that map. And you only have to take the first point or defend the first point to win that game. And you only have a very small amount of time to do it. Well, not very small. It's long enough to, be possible. But this is not a very great system for Overwatch because some of the maps are terribly imbalanced on these control point maps, especially at the first point. So some maps have a first point that is way too easy to defend. Like, it takes 90% of the game just to take that first point, and the next 2 or 3 are pretty easy once you just break through the defensive line. But other maps are, super easy on attack on that first point. Like, there's no place for the defense to really set up, so the first point they just kind of glaze through, and it's not until the second or third point that the defense can really bolster up. But that's all null and void if they only have to get through the first point, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So it just doesn't make you feel great. Much like the golden weapons, I don't feel good coming away from a sudden death match, either whether I win or I lose, right?
Right.
Like, I win on a defensive map, it's just because I got a defensive map and I happen to be on defense, so it doesn't feel that great. Or if I win, it's because I'm on a attack map with attack. So occasionally you do win on a defensive map with attack, and it does feel kind of good, but even then it's usually because they had a Bastion who was set up incorrectly or a Mercy who was just staring in a corner, but it's mostly their fault that they lost and not because you overcame them.
Right.
And it's not good. It doesn't make you feel like sudden death should. You should walk away from sudden death feeling like you tried your best and either you walked away the winner or you tried your hardest and you went down fighting,
Yeah.
That is the pinnacle of competitive gaming to me. That's the best of 5 feeling. I don't know. That's the top of the tension. That's
Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, when you're all spent, you're all exhausted, but you gotta pull it together for one last push. You gotta, the adrenaline's the only thing keeping you going. That is what competitive gaming is to me, and that's not what I get from this, which makes me really sad because I love this game.
That's disappointing.
It is. It really is. And I know that they said they're gonna change the coin flip for Season 2, but I still have to go through the rest of Season 1 with it, so I hope that whatever they change it into is going to be a better system. I'm confident they'll think of something over time. But that's about all I've played of noteworthy cause, other than more Civ, which is not going well for me. I'm currently playing Poland. I occupy all of Africa, but I'm at war with Attila the Hun, who's currently holed up in India.
Why does every single motorcycle have to go by right now? They're so loud.
It's because the internet isn't failing right now, so they have to buy the time by having motorcycles go by until the internet will drop again.
Exact. Oh my god, it's so annoying.
It's just more editing for me to do in post. Jacob, what have you been playing this week?
So I only really played one game of note that's new. Other than that, I played all the usual stuff that I've been playing. I played some more of The Crew and I played some more Black Ops and stuff. But the one game that I played is a game on Steam, actually, and it's one of the only games on Steam that I can run on my laptop, and it's called Emily is Away. Have you ever heard of this game?
I have heard of this game.
So it's a very interesting concept to me, and the reason why I played it was because I think I had heard about it a long time ago, but I honestly had forgotten about it. But so when I went into going to play this game, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is a really cool game. Because the way the whole game is set up, right, is that it's not even really a game, honestly, but it's set up as you're on a fake desktop and you're on AIM having a conversation with a girl named Emily.
Yeah.
So immediately the nostalgia feels got me because I remember being on AIM.
Yeah.
And the way the menu is set up, the main menu, it looks like the Windows XP startup screen. And it has all the right sounds and everything. It's weird. I wonder if they had to pay some sort of fee to Microsoft and to AOL for these sound effects.
I don't know. Actually, is it
It's the exact sound effect. When I say it's the same exact one. If you just go off of, well, I'm going off of memory here, but it's all the right ones. It's the door opening, the door closing. It's the bing whenever you get the message, and then even the Windows XP startup sound is the dun 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 dun.
No, I think they could use it without too much issue. I could be totally wrong though. Maybe they did have to.
Yeah, I have no clue, but they're giving it. It's a free game, so if anybody wants to go play this game, you can. It's free, and then they have a donate button on the main menu. So if you played it and enjoyed it, give some money to the guy, I guess. But like, I have a lot of problems with this game, just from playing it. Like, my main problems come with the story, and I'm gonna kind of spoil some stuff. So if you could, Brad, put a
Oh,
timestamp.
yeah, sure. I'll put the siren
Yeah,
in the audio so they know to get out.
exactly. So the spoilers are gonna start now, and it's mainly like the fact that your options in the story don't like really affect anything. I found out. So there's a couple points in the game that are real like linchpins for like something that changes. And the one that I really went back to test this out to see how different things were is there's a point in the story where you're messaging Emily and she tells you that she just broke up with her boyfriend Brad. I got a kick out of that
Oh, sorry,
because
Jacob.
you can put Jacob into the name thing for your own name, so it was just Jacob and Brad, and I was like, oh, that's funny. So she broke up with
And then I should probably tell you at this point that I actually have dated a girl named Emily.
oh my god, this is weird. Did you make this game?
Yes, actually, I'm a secret developer. It's a ghost development, really. I didn't want credit.
So she tells you that she broke up with Brad and that she wants to come visit you at college because she just wants to, see her old friend, right? You guys are just friends at this point, but this is also right after she asks you why you never kissed her at like a party that you guys went to in high school. So she's putting out those vibes that she wants to be more than friends with you, but as of now, you guys are just friends. So then you can decide whether you let her come visit you or whether you don't let her come visit you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the first time I did it, I was like, yeah, come visit me, because, I obviously in the story, I felt as my character would, he would invite Emily because he really likes Emily. So then after that, you get the next year. It goes by years. And so the next year, you get a message and it's just like, hey, we haven't talked in a long time. And things are just weird between us because we hooked up when she came to visit, right?
Yeah.
So then after that, your friendship basically implodes because of that. And then at the end, like, you get all these choices at the end to ask her, and it's all these questions like, will we ever actually be real friends again or whatever? And he'll type them out and then delete them, and then he'll type something else, and you have to send it. And I hated that part of the game because I was like, you're literally just taking my choice away from me. But then after that, I was like, all right, let me go back and try it the other way. Let me tell her that she can't come to visit, right? Because there's also this other girl that you see at your college named Emma, who is like your friend who you want to be more than friends. But
She's just playing all the fields. Right? Oh,
yeah,
Lawnmower Guy, go away.
it's playing all the
Ah.
ends. But um, so when she comes to visit, in the next one you get like a message that's like she thought it was weird that you came to visit or whatever. So we haven't talked in a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, that's probably gonna change that. Maybe he ends up with Emma in the end. You know what I mean? But the way it happens is just like you tell her that she can't come, and then she gets all mad at you because she's like, you said that you would be there for me in high school. And then she gets off, and then the year later you message her, and it's basically all the same messages again, except change out the part of we hooked up to why didn't you let me come visit.
So it's the exact same outcome whether or not you let her come over or not.
Yeah, every time your friendship ends with this girl, which I guess is a little realistic to high school friendships, because most of the time they end unless you're like super close to that person or you see them on a daily basis, right? But I just think the fact of like there's this like fake, I say fake, but it's like a faux choice there because you don't really get to choose the outcome of the game. You can change certain elements of the story, but overall it all comes out to the same outcome. Which I mean, some games do that, right? But a lot of games the choices at least matter along the way. You know what I mean? They change some element of the game that isn't just, one piece of dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, every game has choice in it. That's one of the founding elements of video games, is that you can choose how you play the game, whether it be you change the story or you just play how you change how you play the character. And we've talked about it on the show before, where the job of a game developer is to create the illusion of choice, so that throughout the whole game, the player feels like they're making meaningful choices without actually really changing anything at all. And what you've just described is a failure to create the illusion of choice. You're never supposed to let the player know that the choices they made didn't matter.
See, the thing is on my first playthrough, I didn't get the sense that my choices didn't matter
Yeah.
until the last part. But the last part, it kind of made sense because your character is meant to be shy. But even then, I was annoyed by it because I was just like, just fucking talk to her. I swore again, Brad. I'm so sorry. But, like, just talk to her. You know what I mean? Don't be this a-hole who doesn't feel like he can talk to her. Don't be shy about it. Like, you guys, my first playthrough, you guys hooked up. You know what I mean? You guys have been friends since you were, like, little kids. Like, you can talk to this person. But the problem is when you go back to test the different outcomes. So I feel like if you played this game one playthrough, you'd be fine and you wouldn't have the problems that I did with it. But
Well, I don't really think that's any excuse on that game developer side.
no, I know it's no excuse. I'm just saying, like, maybe this game really is only meant for a one playthrough kind of thing, and once you test the limits of what the game lets you do, that's when it all falls apart. But still, like I would like to see what this person does in the future. Who I forget what the guy's name who made this game. It was Kyle something. I can look it up on Steam right now. It probably says it. And it doesn't say it. Awesome. Um, but so I'd like to see some more stuff that he likes to do because he sets a good atmosphere for the story.
Yeah.
Like it feels much like a regular what's it like an AIM chat.
I mean,
So
it seems like he recreated high school drama pretty well, so.
yeah, he does recreate a lot of that like stuff that you went through in high school or college or stuff that you think that people in high school and college go through. But like I would just like to see a game from him that, maybe has some more time put into it and has a lot more outcomes.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna make. That feels to the player like a very big decision, right? Do I let her come over or do I tell her no? And with, at least to me, with the weight of a decision like that, you're encouraging the player to play again to figure out what would have happened if I had made a different choice.
Yeah, that's exactly what was my reasoning of like, let's go back to chapter 3 and try that out.
Yeah, so if you make that feel like a big choice to the player and you're encouraging them to play again, then you have to make the other outcome be different than the one that happened before. And not just, where our friendship is over because you didn't let me over, or our friendship's over because I came over and, we had a one night stand and everything got awkward. That's not different. It's the same outcome. It's like you went from A to C, but you just took a detour to B first. Like the endpoint's the same. So you gotta make a different outcome if you want if you want the choice to feel meaningful to the player.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, I didn't actually know this game. The game I was thinking of was Emily Wants to Play, which...
That's the horror game.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, no.
Too many Emilys in the game development world. Go make a different name.
You got real confused for a second when I was like, you're on AIM.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. It's a part of that game I didn't see, or...
Yeah, so, I mean, I would suggest to you to... actually, no, maybe not anymore, because you now know the outcome of the game. But I was going to say you should check it out, because it's an interesting little game, given how it really does recreate the whole AIM idea. But, like,
so
if you
want to relive the teenage drama years, head over to...
Yeah.
What was the name of the game? Something Emily?
Emily is Away.
Emily's Away.
Which is always the away message that you get on
AIM.
On AIM, yeah. So yeah, that's all I've really played was Emily is Away.
It's a very negative Nancy week for the both of us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was just some things that I thought that game could do better. Same thing with you with Overwatch. It's not like we downright hate these games, right?
No.
I like a lot of Emily's Away. It's just the problem is the way the game ends.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I played Goat Simulator. Just a little last note there.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
I threw a person into a gas station, blew it up, and got called Michael Bay. So I mean, I'm so far liking the game.
Really, you liked it?
Yeah, it's good fun. It'll be easy achievement, so I'll just complete it and never look at it again.
Yeah. But so that's the end of what we're playing for this week. So why don't we get into the news? So Brad, seeing as this is the last episode of June, All the PS Plus and Xbox games with gold have been announced. So let's go through those. For PlayStation Plus on PS4, you're getting Fury, which I have no clue what it is, and Saints Row: Gat Out of Hell, which is like a little. It's like about 2 to 3 hour expansion of Saints Row 4, where you play as Johnny Gat and you have to save the main character of Saints Row from the devil.
Eh, it's not the strangest thing Saints Row's ever done.
No, definitely not. PS3, you have Call of Juarez Bound in Blood, which is like a cowboy first person shooter game, which I've heard is pretty good. So you should check that out. And also on PS3, you're getting Fat Princess, which is a pretty fun game, actually. It's kind of like a tower defensey type thing where you have to protect this fat princess. On PS Vita, you're getting Orishika Tainted Bloodlines. Did I say that right?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it. Let me. Yeah, Orishika.
Orishika. And you're also getting Prince of Persia Revelations, which is a PSP game that I used to have, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good PSP Prince of Persia.
Never played that Prince of Persia game. I only played Sands of Time.
Yeah, I'd only played it because like I had a PSP and like I had like 6 games for it. Or I got more over time, but at the time I only had like 6 games for it because it was when I first got it. And it's pretty fun. So check it out if you have a Vita.
All you 4 Vita owners out there.
And we all unite. Xbox games with gold. On Xbox One, you're getting the Banner Saga 2, which I'm pretty excited to play, even though I didn't play the Banner Saga 1. But I've always thought that game looked really cool and had a really cool art style. Also, you're getting Tumblestone, which I have no clue what that is. So Banner Saga is the first half of the month, and Tumblestone is the second half of the month on Xbox One. Xbox 360 for the first half of the month, you're getting Rainbow Six Vegas 2, which if you own Rainbow Six Siege, you already have this for free, so big effing whoop. And the second game of the month is Tron Evolution, which was a tie-in to the Tron Legacy movie. All right, it's Tron Legacy, yeah, Tron Legacy movie, which is actually it's not a bad game. It's pretty okay. The multiplayer is fun because it's just light cycles from Tron.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that the Banner Saga 2 is a free Games with Gold. That game just came out.
Yeah, it isn't even on consoles yet, so this will be when it first comes out on consoles.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's only on, my Windows right now.
Yeah, so it's coming to Xbox, I think, probably when this Games with Gold launches.
Yeah, it's less than like 2 months old. That's really early to be on Games with Gold. I wonder if there's a reason they did that.
Better exposure, honestly. Like I noticed a lot of those games do a lot better. Like games like that, or say like Rocket League, will do a lot better if you give them out for free because it just builds in an audience. And then once it becomes not free, everyone all is telling their friends, "Hey, you got to play this game. This game's really cool." So
yeah, maybe
it's usually a marketing thing. At least that's what I've noticed. Speaking of marketing things, collections are pretty marketing-y, you know? And did you like Bioshock, Brad? Are you a fan of the franchise?
I loved Bioshock 1. I did like Bioshock 2. I didn't hate it like everybody else seems to. And I only played maybe about half of Infinite. I never finished Infinite. I have to get around to doing that.
Well, I like all 3 of them, and so today, after everything got leaked on this, essentially, 2K finally announced Bioshock the Collection, which will include Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite, and all single-player DLC for those 3 games, which I think there was only DLC for 2 and Infinite. The collection will also feature director's commentary from creative director Ken Levine and lead artist Sean Robertson. The bundle collection also includes new content and featurettes for fans of the original games. In the newly remastered Bioshock, for example, players will have the option to walk around a virtual museum of concepts that never made it into the original game and tackle a variety of puzzles, splicers, and big daddies in different challenge rooms. The remastered version of Bioshock 2 will include the critically acclaimed Minerva's Den DLC, but multiplayer will not be available. Bioshock Infinite is the last in the series and will receive a remastered version for consoles, but not on PC. According to 2K, when Infinite was released, it already met current generation console standards. It will, however, come with both Burial at Sea episode packs, Clash in the Clouds add-on pack, and Columbia's Finest pack. The collection will be available for purchase for $59.99 on September 13th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and while the remastered Bioshock 1 and 2 will also be available for Windows PC. So on PC, if you buy this collection, you're only getting Bioshock 1 and 2.
Which, in my opinion, are the only ones that really need remasters. Infinite is current enough that it still looks good, and on PC, you can sort of just bump the graphics yourself.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of a shitty thing that like if you buy the collection, you don't just get the PC version of Infinite with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be nice just to it'll just give you the version of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to include the Polygon article in the bottom of in the description because they give you this little slider thing, which is really cool, and I've been playing with it for like 3 minutes.
What slider thing?
Look at the bottom of the article, the little picture.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't notice that. I figured it was just the way the picture was set up.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, I don't have the other window set up, so I can't show the stream. Sorry, guys.
I don't know what's the before and what's the after.
The one with higher textures and more light is the one that's after.
That makes sense.
The one that looks better.
But yeah, so are you excited for this BioShock collection?
No, because I won't really be buying it. I mean, I have all three. I've played them recently enough that I don't feel the need to, buy a collection of them. I don't know. I feel like maybe just to get it on Xbox One, I would buy
Yeah.
it.
That's my whole thing with it is like I look at this and I'm like maybe one day I will want to play BioShock 1 again or Infinite
And
or
the fact
even
it comes
2.
with the DLC, it's just
Yeah.
it's 3 games for $60 and all the DLC. I think that's a good deal. And I was thinking about it actually while you were reading the article. I feel like this game would do pretty well in VR.
Yeah, it would if they ever made like a new BioShock game. I don't think that you could take these ones though and bring them into VR.
I feel like you could do it with the first one because the first one was very reliant on like creating that like spooky atmosphere,
Yeah.
which I feel like would be pretty good in VR. But I don't know. You'd have to sort out the issue of movement because movement's always a big issue in VR. You can't exactly walk around infinitely.
So, we're excited. I guess timidly excited, I would say.
So
Like
that's a way of describing it. Sure, timidly excited.
like we like these games and we're happy that they're getting like a remaster, but also too I'm sick of this effing remaster BS. We're 3 years into the console generation and we're still getting these.
I think it's because we're part of a generation of remasters, right? The guys who grew up with, all these games that are getting remastered, it's because the guys in the game development industry right now grew up with those games and they want to see them again. Some of them are just blatant money grabs, like some of the more recent ones. But some of them, they're people trying to revamp the games that they saw in their youth, and I think that's respectable.
Those ones I don't care about, right? Because it's like, yeah, it's great that we're getting a new version of some game that we can't play because it's old. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like it was on PS2, so it's just a hassle to go back to it. But these ones that are like these games came out like a year ago or like 2 years ago, and now it's on Xbox One. Like even when people don't ask for it, like the game Sleeping Dogs was remastered, and the Deadpool game was remastered. Even though I kind of get why they did that because they did it around when the movie came out. But
Yeah, that was a clear marketing decision.
I think even the biggest one, Prototype 1 and 2 were remastered. Who the hell was asking for Prototype 1 and 2 on Xbox One?
I don't think people were asking for Prototype in general, never mind a remaster of it.
Exactly. So like my point is just like, sure, like while some of these are cool and it's nice to just have the easy access to it, it's just it's annoying at this point that we're still getting these. But speaking of more remasters, the bundled remasters of Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, originally set for a July 26th release for PS4 and Xbox One, will no longer have a release date, according to an official statement on the Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment's Arkham Knight forums. After reviewing the progress of the project, the team at WB has decided to delay the release of Batman Return to Arkham to give the team at Virtuous Games additional time to deliver a polished Batman Arkham game experience, according to the official post. We do not have a release date yet, but we'll be sure to communicate that once we are sure that the game will be ready. We know this is disappointing news, but we feel the extra time will allow the team to create the best gaming experience for our fans. The collection was announced just last month for $49.99. The Game of the Year editions of the games were being remastered using Unreal Engine 4 and included access to all additional downloadable content. So, what do you what do you take of this? Do you think that it's just something like because this is like really close for this game to? I mean, it was supposed to be out this week.
Yeah, they sort of cut it down to the wire.
Yeah,
I think they need to sort of get their house in order here because they've been having a lot of issues with Batman recently.
yeah,
That terrible port that they did, which to be fair wasn't Warner Brothers' fault. They had ported it out to another studio to do it like they usually do, but still, it's just they kind of need to get their stuff together, you know.
it's all so weird too that it's happening around Batman. It's like it's so weird that the sheen of this series has just been lost. You know what I mean? Because like when Batman Arkham first started, like everyone loved those games, and then Arkham City they loved it even more, and then Arkham Knight they were like, this is okay, you know. Arkham Origins also didn't help either, but that wasn't really part of the mainline Arkham series. So like I don't. This is just weird news to me. You know what I mean? Like especially like just in the week of release, you announced this. You know, this seems like something that would have came a couple months ago.
Yeah, like this should
Or
we should have at least known this sooner than the week before it was supposed to come out, you know.
yeah, or it was announced last month. So like you figure like maybe the second week of June we find out about this, not a day before it came out or whatever, or
Yeah.
whenever this story came out.
I feel like it was somebody at Warner Brothers, like it was all known in house that this was going to get canceled, right? So they just all stopped talking about it. And then somebody went and said, "Oh wait, the game's supposed to launch tomorrow, guys.
Oh no,
Did we
it's
ever
not
tell the
actually.
public?"
I read it wrong. It was July 26th, not June 26th. So they are a month ahead. Never mind.
I mean, that's still really close.
Yeah, I know it's still really close, but even then, it's not as bad as we made it out to be.
I mean, yeah, we exaggerated a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. They need let us know beforehand. Like I'm fine with canceling a game. You know, sometimes things don't work out, whether the budget is used inappropriately and it doesn't reach it to the end, or resources aren't used appropriately. Well, whatever the case might be, it's something the public should know as soon as you know it, right? Like I don't know, just a month before the game's supposed to come out seems a little soonish to me.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this comes out now, because like as it was before, I was like, oh, it's just an easy remaster, so
Yeah.
who cares? But like now that this is here, I'm curious if this comes out and is just a failure or if it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we'll wait and see on that. We like VR. We talk about it all the time. And we're kind of okay with the Oculus Rift, but it's back in stock now at Amazon and Best Buy. The Oculus Rift virtual reality headset is once again available from Amazon following its limited retail launch this past spring. Amazon is even offering one-day shipping on the Rift, so if you're still waiting for a pre-order, you can cancel it and just buy the $5.99 headset from Amazon. Orders placed in the Oculus shop are currently scheduled to ship in August. It probably won't be in stock for long, so you might want to decide soon. And then just the update to the story was that the Rift is also available to buy online for from Best Buy too. So when I looked at the Amazon page for it though, it seemed to be a person selling it, and they have it up there for $805.50.
Yeah, it's a problem with Amazon. It's a third-party seller, so really anybody can sell anything.
Or it probably was that someone was actually selling it and then they just ran out on Amazon. So now that's the thing that it defaults to, because
Yeah.
Amazon does this. So honestly, if you're gonna buy it, you're better off going through. Oh no, you can't even go through Oculus anymore. I mean, not Oculus. Best Buy.
Yeah,
They ran out. This story was pointless.
but you know what? I have a tip for everybody out there who wants to buy an Oculus. Buy a Vive.
Oh,
Like really, it's better. Don't buy an Oculus. Buy a Vive, please.
I think it matters more with money, honestly.
If you're spending that much, it really is the extra 100 going to do much for you. Just buy the extra 100. You get the
It's an extra 200.
200. Potato potato. It's
Potato, potato. No, you say this like we're rich people and we just have unlimited money.
Oh,
Like
are you not rolling in dough, just throwing out hundreds everywhere?
honestly, like to get to my room right now, I had to swim through a giant Scrooge McDuck money pit. But that's
Really,
not the-
it's lonely at the top.
exactly. But still, like I completely get where people are coming from. Where if they, say they have the PC for it, but they don't want to spend $800 on a VR headset, and then just like, you know what, I have the money to buy an Oculus. Like I totally get that. But
My
like,
tip for those people is save. It doesn't.
Or save, yeah.
If it takes you an extra 2 months to save up the extra $200, then you know what? Save it. Buy a Vive. Do not buy an Oculus.
Also, though, I could see that being a problem too for people who say don't have the room for a Vive. You know what I mean? Because then you lose out on the big feature of the Vive.
You do lose the room scale, but it's surprisingly not as hard to set that up as you think it is. Like, you can take an average living room, right, and just push. You don't need that much space, so you can put up the room scale things, just the little two boxes, push everything out of the way, move, say, your couch against the wall, move a coffee table if you have one, and even that little, 3x3 space that you might have, not 3x3, but you know what I mean. Just that space would be enough. So you don't necessarily need a room dedicated to it. You can, more often than not, turn your living room into a hybrid VR room, as long as you be careful not to bump your shins on a coffee table.
Just buy a PlayStation VR.
Yeah, or just buy PlayStation VR. But personally, if I had to pick one of the three, I would go with Vive, just because it looks the most interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it mainly just has to do more with either a money issue or a room issue. I mean, you say it's easy, but who knows? Maybe somebody doesn't have the ability to move that stuff.
If you're living in New York, your entire apartment consists of that one room. So
exactly,
it's not like you're swimming in space.
So I can see why people would pick an Oculus over a Vive, or even, obviously, I understand why people would take a PlayStation because it's the cheapest one and
it's plug and play.
Exactly, it's going to be the easiest to use. So I feel like Oculus is just really stuck in this middle ground, though, where they don't really have. Well, I mean, they have a dedicated audience because they were like the first ones to come out, but like, I feel like everyone just either went, "Oh, the Vive is better," or "Oh, I'm just gonna get PlayStation because it's cheaper." Like, they got real.
Yeah, they got screwed. I mean, we said this on the show before, right? They were the first to market, and yet somehow they still got screwed.
Exactly. It's just, I don't know. It's a bad situation. Speaking of bad situations, I guess, I don't know. I don't know anyone who used this.
You gotta work on your Segway game, Jacob.
Yeah, Sony is dropping Ustream from the PlayStation 4.
I forgot this was a thing.
Yeah, so did I. PlayStation 4 owners will soon have fewer options for broadcasting gameplay from their consoles. Sony confirmed in a support notice that Ustream will no longer be available as a streaming option as of August 1st, 2016. After August 1st, PS4 owners will no longer have the option to broadcast via Ustream. Users also won't have the option to watch Ustream broadcasts via launch from live from PlayStation on PS4, PS Vita, and the PlayStation app. Sony says it will continue to support other available streaming options: Twitch, YouTube, and Dailymotion. Support for Ustream broadcast has been confirmed as late as when the game came out. I understand a lot of the Ustream use came from those people who just wanted to broadcast really weird crap during the like when they played Playroom. Remember that game?
Yeah.
And it got banned from Twitch because people were like having sex while playing it or doing drugs. So I understand a lot of the reasons why people used Ustream is that they wanted to have their weird smoke weed and Playroom streams.
It's the streaming market's a very difficult one right now. Twitch has such a strong hold on it, and YouTube gaming, although it's great for the watcher, not a lot of content creators switched over to YouTube gaming.
Yeah.
But to get into to even compete in the streaming market right now, you need to do something like radically different that neither Twitch nor YouTube are offering, which is kind of difficult because they offer just about everything you need.
Also, Ustream apparently just got bought by IBM, so that could also be a factor.
I guess. I mean, I wonder what IBM wants with Ustream.
I don't know. I think they're switching it over to more of because IBM now isn't really like consumer focused. They're mainly an industry focused company.
Yeah.
So I could see it, maybe they're using Ustream as, I don't know, like a video conference thing. So like you could stream someone's announcement of something, and it makes sense because it's a business thing. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's already software in place to do that, though. I mean, I don't know, to be honest, but I feel like that probably already exists. So I'm curious if we should probably keep up with this to see what they do with Ustream. If they just bought it for, some in-house tinkering, or if they bought it for an actual purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I never paid attention to Ustream before, so it'll probably be the most time I ever put into Ustream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that sucks for anyone who used Ustream. Even then, I'm sure you could. You know what? If Dailymotion is supported, then just use Dailymotion because that's the Wild West of the video websites.
Yeah, pretty much.
They let you do anything over on Dailymotion. So yeah. But speaking of streaming, Twitch now lets you watch people eat.
This is weird.
Twitch streamers can now broadcast themselves eating food as a primary draw of their broadcast, thanks to the newly launched category, social eating. On the po-
That's
If you want to stream yourself eating a large quantities of pizza, Chinese takeout, empanadas, or even a full bag of dry ramen noodles, Twitch is apparently now cool with that.
if I wanted to remind myself of, all the food that I'm not eating, I would not watch people eat it. That's the reason I watch the food channel.
The new social eating category on Twitch was quietly launched this week and sits alongside other non-gaming categories like Twitch Creative, where streamers can broadcast them drawing, painting, musical, or other artistic purposes. The social eating category on Twitch references mukbang, a type of online broadcast popularized in South Korea, where streamers would eat huge amounts of food while chatting with their audience. Prior to the launch of social eating, mukbang and eating-focused streams were were considered against the rules of Twitch Creative, according to the category's FAQ. So it's not really blowing up yet. There's only a handful of streamers that are actually doing stuff in there. One streamer is just eating an entire cake by himself.
Yeah, just broadcast your sadness to the world.
Exactly. I can see where the appeal of this comes. It's a better way of doing one of these mukbang things, because a lot of those I've ever seen have been either the ASMR variety, where people like to hear eating sounds and it triggers their ASMR, or it's just a cool video of like, hey, look, I got all this food from my trip to Korea. Check out this weird Korean food that I'm eating. So like I understand the point of it, and it could be like a cool just kind of like hangout sesh, you know what I mean, with like your Twitch followers or whatever. But I don't see this really taking off to be like this is the thing that people go to Twitch for.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna tie this in a little bit to Twitch, because I feel like this makes more sense than we're giving it credit for. So Twitch and Twitch Creative, they allow you to do cooking streams because
Right.
it's technically creative. You're making a meal. So I guess that's the natural progression of things. You allow people to stream making the food, so why not allow them to stream eating it? I mean, it's still weird, but I guess that makes sense. But I mean, there's something wrong about that to me. Going to a Twitch stream and hear people go, that's just odd. And I apologize for anybody I just did that in the mic. I probably should have thought about that.
I guarantee you just triggered somebody.
I hope not. If I did, don't let me know. That's weird to me. It's
No,
just
honestly, like I kind of get that because I'm light into the ASMR community, I guess.
maybe it's because I hate the sound of people eating. Like that bugs me.
See that yeah. That's the
Maybe
thing.
that's what it is. It's just I am the complete opposite of people who enjoy this. I hate
Yeah,
it.
like it definitely has an audience, and I get it. You know what I mean? But
Just
I don't know.
keep it away from me. If I wanted weird Japanese candy, I'd order a Loot Crate.
Loot Crate doesn't give you weird Japanese candy.
Yes, it does. There's an anime one.
Oh well, yeah, that's different. You didn't say that. You just said Loot Crate.
It's a subsidiary, same thing.
But that's all the news for this week.
That's it.
That's it. It's done.
We're done. The bills are paid. My internet can stop going out now. Hopefully.
We still have one more thing though.
Oh, damn it.
And it's a little game called Well That Sucked. Welcome to Well That Sucked. The way the game works is simple. I give Brad 3 randomly selected games, and he has to tell me which of the 3 is the lowest rated according to Metacritic. Oh Jesus, I burped.
Jesus. I don't know what meta is, but
According to Metacritic, I can give Brad no help but a brief description of the game if he asks for it. Brad, are you ready?
sure.
Round 1.
Round 1.
Umbrella Corps.
The Resident Evil thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Pac-Man 256, the
Oh.
PS4 version. And
Isn't
Dino... What?
It's just an odd array of games. I wish I knew how to speak.
And Dino Dinny's Kickoff Revival.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a soccer game.
Oh, because I got that from the title, clearly.
Yeah. I think the name Dino Dinny is great, though. That's why I picked it.
I'm tempted to go with that right off the bat, just because I seems terrible. I don't know what it is. I get a bad vibe from it. Pac-Man's Pac-Man. You can't screw that up. Actually,
It's an endless runner Pac-Man. It's cool though. It's fun. I played it on my phone. I haven't played the PS4 version, so I don't know. Maybe that completely ruins it.
I mean, I can't imagine playing an endless runner on PS4, but I'm sure it's. I mean, okay, fine. And I know nothing about the Umbrella Corp one. So I have no judgment on that. What is the Umbrella Corp one anyway?
It is a multiplayer third-person shooter set in the Resident Evil universe.
You see, the problem with Resident Evil games is they're very bipolar. Either they're everybody loves them or everybody hates them. There's no middle ground when it comes to Resident Evil games. So which side of that scale does this one fall on? And I don't quite know. I'm leaning more towards that people might have not liked it, because I haven't heard about this until now, and I've heard about all the other Resident Evils.
It came out last week.
Oh, okay, well then never mind. My opinions are all gone.
Well, no. I'm saying that it came out last week and it came out to like zero fanfare. Like of anybody talking about
Yeah,
it.
I've never heard of this game. I didn't hear about it coming out, and I didn't hear that it released. So now my faulty logic is just completely destroyed. So I'm going with the Dino dude just because that's just no.
So you're going with Dino Denny's kickoff revival?
Yeah, I'm going with Dino Denny because he was apparently named by Dr. Seuss.
You're right, Brad. Dino Denny's kickoff revival is the lowest rated. Can you tell me what it is rated?
47.
31.
Oh, worse than I gave it credit for. Apparently Dr. Seuss is not a good game designer.
Umbrella Corps is the second lowest rated with a 39.
Jesus.
And Pac-Man 256 is the highest rated with a 77.
The Endless Runner on PS4 does the best. What kind of world are we living in?
I don't know if it's like that's how I would describe it as Endless Runner, but I don't know, maybe because it's just an endless Pac-Man that you have to go through the maze and.
Oh, so it's not like a temple run type thing.
No, it's not like you're behind Pac-Man while he's running or anything.
That's what I was imagining. It was literally just you're running as Pac-Man.
It's kind of like an isometric view of the Pac-Man game board, and then you just move Pac-Man left, right, up, and down to avoid ghosts and to go through the maze.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's fun, actually. It's very fun. I played it on my phone, like I said.
I'll allow it.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Oh, I didn't even tell you about Umbrella Corp because I didn't want to give it away. But apparently, I heard on another podcast that they were trying to play it on PC, and there were only 30 people playing the whole game in general.
That, my friends, is why marketing is important.
Exactly.
And why not making a sucky game is important.
Yes. So round 2, Saints Row: Get Out of Hell.
Okay.
Rainbow Six Vegas 2. And Tron Evolution.
So the free games we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Everybody loves the Saints Row game, so that's not going to be the lowest one. Might not be the highest, but it won't be the lowest. Tron, maybe. I don't know much about it. But what was the other one? I still have the news document open. It was Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Oh. That's an oldie. That's an old one.
It's an oldie.
But it was a goodie, if I remember correctly.
I'm not going to tell you my opinion because I don't want to give it away.
Oh, God. This is where my knowledge of Tom Clancy games fails me. I think that one did alright. I mean, it got a sequel, right? So it must have done good enough. So I think that one was okay.
It is the sequel. It didn't get a sequel.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Wait, no, then my logic goes out the window. Never mind. Oh, God. Okay, so I feel like just my gut instinct is go Tron. For some reason. Something is pulling me towards Tron. Maybe it's because it's the franchise I'm least familiar with. Maybe it's because I don't really know anything about the Tron game. And because I like Rainbow Six as a franchise. And I can't imagine that Saints Row is the lowest. That just doesn't seem right to me. So I'm going with Tron. Just because the other ones don't make sense.
Brad, you're right.
Hey, look at that.
Can you tell me what Tron Evolution is rated?
A 59.
Oh my God, Brad, you're going to be so mad when I say this. 58.
That's not fair.
I think it's better than a 58 though. Like I've played it before and it's got fun multiplayer, like I said, and the game's not terrible. It reminds me a lot of like an Assassin's Creed style game, but set in the Tron world. Huh. It's not open world though, but like the gameplay reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed.
I will make a judgment for myself when and if I play it.
The second lowest rated was Saints Row: Get Out of Hell with a 66, and the highest rated was Rainbow Six Vegas 2 with an 82.
Yeah, it was a good game. Never played it, but I heard it was good. Well, they all say the Rainbow Six.
That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yep.
Round 3.
Hold on. I need another voice. Round 3. That's the best I could do, okay?
That freaked me out.
Listen, it caught me off guard, okay? I wasn't expecting...
If you're ever gonna murder somebody, do that voice.
I just talk like this.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill you. Um. Oh, don't do that. Oh God. Let's just finish this up because you just freaked me out. Fat Princess, Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, and the Banner Saga 2.
Is that racist?
What?
Call of Juarez? Are you just calling a Hispanic man named Juarez?
No, that's the name of the game.
It's like it's the Hispanic Call of Duty. It's what I'm imagining.
Call of Juarez.
I didn't even know if that's a Hispanic name. I could have just been entirely incorrect, but
Yeah, you're a racist.
I don't have any knowledge of any of these games, so I don't know what to make of them. I'm gonna say that Fat Princess is the most offensive, therefore that's probably the lowest. Call of Juarez is only slightly less offensive, so that's probably in the middle. And what was the third game?
The Banner Saga 2.
Oh, the Banner Saga 2 is just came out, so I imagine that one probably did all right. I mean, it looks cool. It's those type of games generally do pretty well, right? It's one of those like tactical RPG type things. So yeah, that probably did all right. So
Can I say that I love the way you say Call of Juarez?
Call of Juarez.
Yes.
Now I'm tempted between Call of Juarez and Fat Princess.
Call of Juarez.
I don't know. It's a tough one. Which one is more offensive, really? I mean, one was a tower defense game where you're...
First of all, you're just assuming that one is offensive. Call of Juarez is probably not offensive.
No,
it's a cowboy game.
It's probably not offensive in any way, but it makes my logic easier to follow if it is offensive, so I'm going to pretend that it is. I'm going with Call of Juarez, because I feel like if the game I'm imagining is the game that it is, it's probably more offensive than Fat Princess, so...
Brad, you pulled three-peat again.
Yeah, see? My faulty logic always works.
Can you tell me what Call of Juarez Bound in Blood was rated?
It was rated a 46.
78.
Wow, okay, it was much better than I gave it credit for.
Yeah. Fat Princess was the second highest rated with a 79, and the highest rated was the Banner Saga 2 with an 83.
Yeah, those games always do well.
Techland made Call of Juarez. You know what Techland is? They made, Dying Light and Dead Island.
Oh. Well, that should have gave it away. Those games are not good.
Those games are good.
Dead Island? That didn't do very well at all.
I mean, Dead Island's okay. It's not as bad as everyone fucking makes it out to be. I just swore again.
That's
three times. That's 3 times.
You love making me edit.
I'm sorry.
Fine. You know what? Now I'm going to angrily do the spiel.
Okay.
If you want to get in touch with me, you can touch with me. Now, see, now you ruined everything. Everything is ruined, and now I can't think straight. If you want to get in touch with the show, not me, the show, then go over to email us at...
Email us at completewithdlc@gmail.com.
Thank you. If you want one of us to answer specifically, please put our name or our name in the body or subject line of the email. That way I can make sure the correct person answers you. I've literally forgotten how everything is gone. Everything is ruined.
I can do the spiel.
That's fine. Ready? Deep breath. I'm good. If you don't want to email the show and you just want to keep up to date with all shows happenings, head over to Twitter. We are Complete with DLC on Twitter as well. That's where Jacob puts all the information about whether the new episodes are going up, whether or not any particular episode is live streamed, or whether or not one of the YouTube series is being updated, whether that be the Sky Fortress one, or one of the upcoming series, whether that be Fallout, Dark Souls, one of the ones we have coming up the pipeline for you guys. Head over to Twitter and you get all the information about that. If you just want to get new podcast episodes, head on over to wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or Google Play, or any of the affiliates thereof. And once you're there, please use whatever review software they give you, whether those be thumbs, stars, arrows, or smiley faces. I actually don't know of any podcast reviewer that uses smiley faces, but I like to think there is one. Once you use it, please let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We take all the feedback you guys give us, and we like to think we're improving the show, but to be honest, we never have any clue. If you don't want to review the show, that's fine. A listen is all we ask for. Jacob, if they don't want to get in touch with the show and they want to get in touch with you specifically, where can they do that?
You can do that on any sort of social media at itsjaygriff, ITSJAYGRIFF. I'm probably most active on Twitter, so if you really want to talk to me, you can do that. Brad, if they want to get in touch with you, where can they talk to you?
And please do it quickly. You can only have a short time with him before he dies. If you want to get in touch with me, you can head over to Twitter as well. I'm Kalgny on Twitter, Kalgne. I'm not terribly active, but I will notice you if you try to get in touch with me, because I do frequent the Twitters. If you don't want to tweet me and instead you just want to have an actual conversation with me, head on over to Battle.net, which is Blizzard's little interactive hub with their games. And then type in Brad, hashtag 1261 as the friend code. And once you send me a friend request and I accept it, let me know where you heard the code, whether it be a podcast episode, a YouTube video, or any other source. Let me know. That way I can make a physical note of it, and I won't delete you when I forget who you are. Nothing personal, just my memory is about as bad as my speaking skills. If you want to catch the show live, head on over to twitch.tv/completewithdlc. All videos are recorded and put onto YouTube. However, they are not edited. They are not censored. So if you frequent the YouTubes, do not expect them to be edited or censored in any way. If instead you would rather get the censored version of the podcasts or the edited version, so all of our technical difficulties and mistakes don't come into the finished product, head on over to the RSS feed versions.
How do you always make those noises when you mess up?
What
Yeah, you always do it every time.
It's like a mental reset for me. Like my tongue is confused where to go, so I just make it do a bunch of things, and then it's like back to normal.
Okay.
I believe that's it, right? I got
Yep.
Musical recommendation.
See,
Brad. Listen, I'm sorry. I was very heavily inspired by Porky Pig at a young age.
What is your musical recommendation?
I was kind of hoping you'd go first because I don't have one yet.
All right, I guess I'll go first. So we've talked about Trials of the Blood Dragon on the show. I still haven't played it yet. Brad thinks it's the worst thing since like the Holocaust.
It's the worst thing since sliced bread.
Exactly. But the soundtrack on it is actually really great. It's done by the electronic group Power Glove, and it's very 80s synthy. It's really cool. So if you like that kind of electronic synth music, check it out. It's really good. As for the game, I have no clue. So
no opinions on the game. All right. So
it's not that I don't know any opinions. I just haven't played it.
Yeah. So for mine, head on over. Yeah, Jacob, you're familiar with the extra credits guys? Extra credits, extra play.
Yes, I am.
Well, they have another channel. I guess they just launched this one, Extra Remix. It was a series that they remixed a bunch of music from older games, and I guess they're giving it its own. Maybe not its own channel, but it's on like Twitter or something. They're branching out and making it bigger. So head on over to Extra Remix from those guys, and there's some really good stuff there. So that's my musical recommendation for this week.
Brad, your heart's probably gonna hurt when you put up this episode because it's over an hour long.
I'll do some editing magic. I'll make it under an hour.
Yeah, just so that way you could not cry yourself to sleep that night.
Every time it ticks over, it just makes me sad. Jacob, hurry up, do the sign off. There's only something I can edit.
This has been Complete with DLC. I'm Jacob Griffin.
I'm Brad Knight.
And thank you for listening.